social responsibility, CSR, and corporate governance are two critical pillars of modern business. While corporate governance ensures ethical and accountable management, CSR ensures a company contributes positively to society. But how do they differ? What are the legal provisions that govern them? So before we dive into the legal provisions, let's first understand the definitions. Corporate social responsibility, CSR, refers to a company's responsibility towards social, environmental, and ethical issues beyond profit making. In India, Section 135 of Companies Act 2013 mandates CSR for companies meeting specific criteria. Legal reference, Companies Act 2013, Section 135(1). Section 135, subsection 1. Companies with a net worth of 500 crores, turnover of 1,000 crores, or net profit of 5 crores must spend at least 2% of their average net profit on CSR activities. This is the criteria. Schedule 7 specifies CSR activities like education, poverty, eradication, healthcare issues, environmental, sustainability, etc. What is corporate governance? Corporate governance is a set of rules, practices, and processes ensuring transparency, accountability, and fairness in a company's operations. Governed by Companies Act 2013 and SEBI and LODR regulations 2015 for listed companies. Legal reference, Companies Act 2013, Section 149 mandates independent directors. Section 177 establishes the Audit Committee for Financial Integrity. Section 178 covers the Nomination and Remuneration Committee. So Section 149 of Companies Act talks about independent directors, and 177 talks about Audit Committee. 178 NRC Nomination and Remuneration Committee. For listed companies, SEBI and LODR Regulation 2015, Regulation 17, Board of Directors Composition and Responsibilities, and Regulation 18, Audit Committee Structure, and Regulation 25, Role of Independent Directors. Then key objectives of CSR and corporate governance. CSR and corporate governance serves a different purpose for both contribute to sustainable business growth. Objectives of CSR, if you see, ethical business conduct, positive impact on society and environment, compliance with CSR spending mandates. Whereas legal reference, we come to the legal reference, the company's Corporate Social Responsibility Policy Rules 2014. The company's CSR policy rules 2014. These are the new CSR rules. Objectives of CSR, this is corporate governance, protection of shareholder rights. Objectives of corporate governance, protection of shareholders' rights, prevention of fraud and mismanagement, and ensures financial transparency. So this is the difference. The object of CSR is ethical business conduct, positive impact on society and environment, whereas the object of corporate governance, protection of shareholder rights, and prevention of fraud and mismanagement, ensuring financial transparency. Legal reference, SEBI and LODR regulations, Regulation 27, quarterly complaints reporting, and Regulation 34, annual reports. Legal provisions in India and global context, if you see, CSR and corporate governance are legally mandated in India, while globally different countries have their own frameworks. CSR framework in India, Companies Act 2013, Section 135, subsection 3, CSR policy must be approved by the board. Section 135, subsection 5, mandatory 2% spending on CSR. If you see global CSR guidelines, UN Global Compact 10 principles, OECD guidelines for multinational enterprises, and ISO 26000 international CSR standard. Comes to corporate governance legal framework. In India, Companies Act 2013 and SEBI and LODR regulations 2015. Section 135, financial disclosures. Section 134, financial disclosures and directors' responsibility statement. Whereas Section 166 talks about directors' duties towards shareholders. And the global corporate governance laws, we see Sarbanes-Oxley Act 2002, USA, and UK Corporate Governance Code 2018. These are all global corporate governance laws. Key differences between CSR and corporate governance. See, now let's compare CSR and corporate governance and the key parameters we see. CSR contributing to social welfare, whereas corporate governance, it is managing and directing company ethically. The focus, CSR focus society and environment, whereas corporate governance, shareholders and internal stakeholders. Regulations we see for CSR Companies Act 2013 and CSR rules, and for corporate governance, SEBI and Companies Act. And corporate governance is mandatory, and CSR, yes, it is mandatory for eligible companies. The examples we see, the corporate governance board structure and independent directors, and CSR like education, healthcare, and sustainability. If you see the case studies, the practical examples, the leading case, corporate governance case study, Satyam scandal visa in 2009. Because of poor governance, led to 7,000 crore financial fraud. The reforms post Satyam strengthened SEBI regulations and Companies Act amendments. If you see CSR case study, many case studies are there. One case study we can take Tata Group. Investments in education, healthcare, and rural development are almost 1,000 crore CSR spending. Infosys Foundation focus on digital literacy, environmental projects. Now the conclusion is corporate governance ensures ethical management, while CSR ensures social responsibility. Both are vital for long-term success and legal compliance. Final legal takeaways, Companies Act 2013, Section 135, 149, 177, 178, and 166. SEBI LODR regulations, Regulation 17, Regulation 18, Regulation 25, Regulation 27, and 34. Another legal takeaways, CSR rules 2014. Comes to global guidelines, OECD, UN Global Compacts. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more legal insights. Thank you. Subscribe to RR Corporates and subscribe to RR Legal Talks, both channels. Thank you.